2024 Nissan Juke Hybrid versus 2024 Lexus LBX Small SUV comparison. The upcoming 2024 Nissan Juke is set to receive a mid-cycle facelift, following the introduction of the second generation in 2019. The new model will feature a funky and distinctive design, a spacious and modern interior, and the addition of a hybrid powertrain option. The exterior of the Juke will retain its unique appearance, with some subtle changes expected to refresh its look, such as new LED daytime running lights and a revised bumper. The rear end may also receive updates, including new taillights and a redesigned spoiler. The 2024 Juke will offer new wheels, packages, colors, and trim levels to cater to different tastes. Lexus is currently busy pumping out a ton of luxury SUVs and crossovers. From the upcoming Grand Highlander-based Lexus TX to the next-generation GX, that also serves as a preview of the Land Cruiser Prado, it seems that the Japanese luxury brand from Toyota wants to fill every niche. In this case, it's trying to fill a small niche, pun intended, with the Lexus LBX. But what is an LBX, and why does it have 3 letters instead of 2? We think the brand has probably run out of 2-letter combinations to play with. Oh, and LBX actually stands for Lexus Breakthrough Crossover, which we're not exactly sure why it became a breakthrough, but regardless, it's a tiny SUV that's been developed in Europe for Europe, mostly. Well, Europe does have a thing for tiny things according to Lexus, huh? Yes, it's not arriving in the United States, but we probably suspect it's the right decision. Measuring just 165 inches long, 71.9 inches wide, and 60.8 inches tall with a 101.6-inch wheelbase, the LBX is just as small as the first-generation Hyundai Kona. It's also about the same size as its key, and only European rival right now, the Audi Q2, though this is already set to be discontinued. Yes, this is even smaller than the UX, which is already petite by American standards, to begin with. Inside, the 2024 Nissan Juke will boast a spacious and comfortable interior, surprising for a compact crossover. The cabin will feature high-quality materials, including leather, soft-touch plastics, and chrome accents. The dashboard will have a minimalist and futuristic design, with a large touchscreen infotainment system, a digital instrument cluster, and a multifunctional steering wheel. The Juke will offer plenty of standard and optional features, such as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, wireless charging, navigation, climate control, heated seats, blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control. As to why Lexus decided to make one for Europe and other select markets, we assume it's a way for the Japanese luxury brand to gain more sales in a market where the Germans dominate the premium segment. Sales of Lexus vehicles in Europe are okay, but not to the point of posing a threat to European brands. It's a case that's exacerbated by the lasting effects of last year's chip shortage, and the Russia-Ukraine conflict, in which Lexus pulling out of the Russian market has hugely impacted its sales in the continent. One of the most exciting updates for the 2024 Nissan Juke is the introduction of a hybrid powertrain option. The E-Tech hybrid system will combine a 1.6-liter engine with an electric motor, delivering approximately 140 horsepower and over 200 pound-foot of torque. This hybrid system will not only enhance the performance of the Juke but also improve its fuel economy and reduce emissions. The 2024 Nissan Juke is expected to be available in late 2023 or early 2024, with prices ranging from around $25,000 for the base model to $35,000 for the top-of-the-line trim. The 2024 Nissan Juke will receive a mid-cycle facelift. The exterior will retain its unique appearance with subtle changes. The interior will be spacious and feature high-quality materials. The 2024 Juke will offer a hybrid powertrain option. Expected launch in late 2023 or early 2024, with prices starting from $25,000. But we sure would love the Lexus LBX to be in the United States from a design standpoint. Compared to the brand's current design efforts of having a huge spindle grille and plenty of body lines, the LBX looks surprisingly tame and conventional. While the evolved spindle grille, now called a spindle body in the electrified age, is still there, it now acts as the lower air intake of the LBX as opposed to being the actual main grille. In fact, the main grille is a horizontal element that connects the two slim LED headlights. Of course, being a tiny crossover calls for the generous use of black cladding. Otherwise, this would look like a slightly enlarged Lexus CT, if you remember that hybrid hatch that was merely a dressed-up Prius. Like the front end, the sides and rear of the LBX look surprisingly conventional. Oh, and that black trim piece in the C-pillar is actually just that A trim piece. There's no rear quarter window there, but it does help in making the LBX's side profile more aesthetically pleasing. At the back, full-width LED taillights are the order of the day, and as expected, the L logo has been ditched in favor of Lexus being written on the tailgate. Being a small premium SUV, its target demographic will undoubtedly be younger buyers. To cater to that audience, personalization is a key element in the LBX purchase process. Depending on whether you choose the standard LBX, the elegant or relaxed model, or the emotion or cool trim, seriously, who makes these names? You get varying mixes of single or two-tone paint choices along with a number of 18-inch wheel designs. Smaller 17s are offered in the standard LBX. While the LBX is based on the European Yaris Cross and its TNGAB, GAB, subcompact vehicle architecture, you wouldn't be able to tell the Toyota foundations when you see its interior. In fact, we want this simplistic interior design to be adopted by Lexus in some of its future models. The lines are clean, simple, and straightforward without being too bland. This is further spruced up through the generous use of premium materials ranging from soft-touch plastics, suede, and even semi-aniline leather. If you don't want animals to be harmed in the making of your LBX's leather, you can also opt for vegan-friendly options. Despite being a small luxury SUV, it even packs a few tech features that even the brand's bigger offerings still don't have. These include a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, a 9.8-inch Lexus interface touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and even a 13-speaker Mark Levinson surround sound system. Unsurprisingly, the 2024 Lexus LBX won't have a large cargo capacity, but the numbers are still good enough considering its size. It measures 11.7 cubic feet, but that's for the front-wheel drive, FWD, model since the all-wheel drive, AWD, variant has extra hardware that eats up into cargo space. If there's another reason why this wouldn't sell well in the United States, that would be because of its powertrain. For the LBX, it uses an updated hybrid drivetrain that comes exclusively with a 1.5-liter 3-cylinder gasoline engine in two configurations. The first one is a FWD model with two electric motors and a torsion beam rear suspension, while the other has an extra electric motor for AWD traction and a more sophisticated independent double wishbone rear suspension. Surprisingly, however, both configurations have the same improved power outputs, 134 horsepower and 136.5 pound-feet of torque, which is 20 horses more than what's found in the Yaris Cross. Its 0-100 km/h, 62 miles per hour, time of 9.2 seconds is decent for its power and size, though. Being a Lexus, the GAB platform didn't just carry over unchanged when it swapped badges. Apart from added rigidity, Lexus prides itself on the generous use of sound insulation to make the LBX as quiet as it could. Likewise, a luxury car needs to offer the latest in driver assistance tech, and you get that in spades with the Lexus Safety System Plus suite, which bundles the usual pre-collision system, dynamic radar cruise control, lane tracing assist, blind spot monitor, just to name a few. As mentioned, the 2024 Lexus LBX probably won't be sold in the United States anytime soon. If you live in Europe, then you'll be able to get yours starting in early 2024, though pre-orders will begin in July in the UK. The first batch of right-hand drive, RHD, cars is supposedly scheduled to arrive in March 2024. For us in America though, what Lexus has in store for us are the aforementioned TX and GX. The TX will finally fill the need for a proper three-row Lexus crossover. The previous RX LS third row was such an afterthought, while the GX is set to be overhauled more than a decade since the current generation first debuted in 2009.